This is our radio DXBU 104.5 FM presenting the program Kalipay ang Yabi, a program that's full of learning, information, and entertainment. This program will help you learn all about mental health awareness. Together with the university psychologists and mental health professionals, let us fill our hearts with love and compassion for life. This is once again Kalipay ang Yabi with your partner on air, Vanessa Pamisanan. Good morning to listeners of the XBU 14.5 FM. Welcome to our first episode of Kalipay ang Yabi with your one and only partner, Vanessa Pamisanan. Today we will be talking about mental health awareness, as this topic is very relevant to our society today because of the pandemic. Especially those who are really stressed out there, this program is really for you. We will learn introductory of what is mental health awareness together with us with Ma'am Juicy Coralat, all the way from Quezon State University's College of Business. She is also the guidance counselor of the said college. Welcome here on air, Ma'am Juicy.
Thank you, Miss Vanessa Pamisaran, for this privilege that was given to me to be interviewed about mental health awareness.
Yes, I am also very thankful that you are here with us today, ma'am. So our first question is, what is the goal of mental health awareness?
Well, for me, the goal of mental health awareness and mental health advocates is to raise awareness about mental health and promote help-seeking behaviors, raise awareness on the importance of self-care and our well-being, to prevent suicide, and to help those who are suffering from mental health issues understand that they are not alone in their struggles, that there are also other people who are facing the same struggles, and that they can always talk to somebody like their family members, their peers, their friends, their colleagues, and even they also have specialists who can help them in terms of their issues. Through mental health awareness, people with mental health issues and disorders will understand their symptoms and the need for mental health treatment, and as well as to break the mental health stigma in our society.
Wow, thank you so much for that, ma'am. Indeed, mental health awareness must be learned. Good, I know. So, ma'am, what mental health issues do you think are present in our society today?
So there are a lot of issues that the society is facing nowadays, especially since we just had the 2 years of pandemic. In the Philippines, according to the Department of Health, there are about 3.6 million Filipinos who are facing depression, mood disorders like bipolar, the substance use disorders, anxiety disorders, panic attacks, psychosis, even extreme anger, eating problems, BPD or the borderline personality disorders, and a lot more. These issues are not just present in the Philippines, but they are also present even in other countries. So there is really a great need in mental health awareness.
You mentioned earlier, ma'am, about bipolar, anxiety disorders. panic attacks, psychosis, and BPD. What are those, ma'am, and how are we going to identify those symptoms you have mentioned?
First, bipolar anxiety disorders, anxiety attacks, psychosis, borderline personality disorder are all mental health issues or mental health conditions. As I have said a while ago, these are some of the common issues that the Philippines are facing today. First, bipolar is a brain disorder that causes changes in a person's mood, energy, behavior, and ability to function. People with this kind of disorder experience intense emotional state or extreme emotions. Either the person is suffering from a very high emotion or a very low emotion that typically occur days to weeks, or it is also called mood episodes. People without bipolar experiences mood changes as well, but it will only last for hours. Unlike people who is suffering from bipolar, the symptoms includes feeling sad, extreme feeling of sadness, hopeless, or irritable most of the time. They lack energy, they have difficulty concentrating and remembering things, loss of interest in everyday activities, feelings of emptiness or worthlessness, feelings of guilt and despair, uh, feeling feeling of a feeling of being pessimistic about everything and even self-doubt. The second is anxiety attack or also known as panic attacks. So these are episodes of intense panic or fear. They usually occur suddenly and without warning. A panic attack is a feeling of sudden and intense anxiety. Panic attacks can also have physical symptoms including shaking, feeling disoriented, nausea, rapid irregular heartbeats, dry mouth, breathlessness. It also includes sweating and dizziness. The symptoms of a panic attack are not dangerous but can be very frightening. Difficult experiences in childhood, adolescence, or adulthood are a common trigger for this kind of disorder. The anxiety problems, going through stress and trauma when you are very young is likely to have a particularly big impact. Experiences which can trigger anxiety problems, including things like physical or emotional abuse. Third is psychosis. Psychosis is when people or a person lose some contact with reality. This might involve seeing or hearing things that other people cannot see or hear, or it is also called hallucinations, and believing things that are not actually true, or it is also called delusions. Hang on to unusual beliefs or thoughts no matter what others say. They pull away from family and friends. They stop taking care of themselves. Um, they cannot think clearly or does not pay attention at all. So these are some of the symptoms of psychosis. The last one is BPD or borderline personality disorder. This is a mental illness that severely impacts a person's ability to regulate their emotions. This loss of emotional control can increase impulsivity, and it affects how a person feels about themselves and negatively impact their relationship with others as well, especially with their family. BPT is basically caused by environmental factors. Being a victim of emotional, physical, or sexual abuse, being exposed to long term fear or distress as a child, being neglected by one or both parents, growing up with another family member who had a serious mental health condition such as bipolar disorder or a drink or drug misuse problem. Some of the symptoms of this illness are fear of abandonment, unstable relationship, unclear or shifting self image, impulsive, self destructive behaviors, and even self harm.
Well, thank you for answering that question, ma'am. Thank you so much for giving additional information. So, what are the signs or symptoms of mental illness, ma'am?
Well, we have extreme mood changes, either high or low, the constant feeling of sadness or loneliness, withdrawal from friends and activities, sleeping problems, confused thinking, lack of emotions, fatigue, fears or extreme fears, extreme suspicions, the mistrust of others, the feelings that others want to hurt you, and a lot more. So, these are just some of the symptoms of mental illness.
Ma'am, what are the things to do if encountered a person or friends with mental illness? How are we going to deal with them?
Well, I think the best thing that you can do is to have an honest discussion with him about your concerns. You have to talk to them. You also have to listen and validate their feelings. Ask questions and never ever give an advice or suggestions. You can offer support and even encouragement. And you can also encourage treatment with specialists.
Why should we never advise someone who is suffering from mental illness, ma'am? Is there a risk in just giving advice?
In counseling van, giving advice is a no-no. Why? Because it can hinder the client's growth. Advising clients on what to do can cause them more harm than good. Providing advice can increase the client's depending on the counselor. So when a counselor gives advice, tendency the counselee or the client depends too much on the counselor. He or she cannot make her own decisions.
Thank you so much for that very important information, ma'am. What are the things should an individual do to maintain mental health, ma'am?
Well, every day we tend to worry a lot, but it is up to us how to deal ourselves or those worries. Well, the best thing that one can do is to make social connections, especially face-to-face connections, and talk to others. Stay active, like you need to do some exercise or do the things that you really love to do or that you like to do. Learn some basic relaxation techniques like we have breathing exercises and even meditations. And make leisure a priority and also eat a healthy diet that supports our mental health. Take a rest and sleep and a lot more.
I've heard, ma'am, that recently the Bukidnon State University holds an event for Mental Health Awareness Month. How was the event? What was the preparation you made for the students and the personnel of and for the personnel of the university?
Recently, last October, the University Guidance Center, together with the different colleges and guidance designate for each college, conducted a mental health awareness program through setting up 5 booths that helped a lot of students. The following booths were spirituality booth, art therapy booth, music therapy booth, freedom wall booth, and then the last one was the counseling booth. The event was a success and indeed it helped a lot of students.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering that question. Indeed, the event was a success, and a lot of the students benefited at that event for a mental health awareness program. Thank you so much, ma'am. To end this interview for today's episode, ma'am, I would like you to give a scenario. For example, ma'am, I am so stressed with my work and studies. I do not know what to do to the point that I wanted to quit on everything, like my whole life. What would be the best? What would be the best advice you could give me, ma'am?
First, let me tell you that it is okay to be not okay. Each one of us faces a lot of stress every day and a lot of challenges. Let me ask you, if you quit because of the everyday stress in your work and your personal struggles, do you think your stress and challenges ends?
For me, I think no.
People always overthink because of a lot of things. When we overthink, we ask a lot of what ifs. We are fearful and we worry too much. It is normal that we have our lows, but it doesn't mean that we will always be in that situation.
Yes, thank you so much for that very heart-warming advice for me, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting my invite to have an interview with you, and I am very thankful for sharing your thoughts and insights and your knowledge about a mental health awareness.
Thank you, Van, for giving me the opportunity to share to you about the challenges in mental health, about the different issues in mental health, and how we can help each other.
Thank you, ma'am. Till we meet again. Thank you so much to all listeners for being here with us today for our first ever episode of Kalipay ang Yabi. So, we will meet again next time on our next episode. And that's all for now. Bye-bye! This is again your partner Vanessa Pamisaran for Kalipay ang Yabi. Your partner here in radio station is now signing off. You are listening to program Kalipay ang Yabi every Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Kalipay ang Yabi. This is our radio DXBU 104.5 FM presenting the program Kalipay ang Yabi, a program that is full of learning, information, and entertainment. This program will help you learn all about mental health awareness. Together with the university psychologists and mental health professionals, let us fill our hearts with love and compassion for life. This is once again Kalipay ang Yabi with your partner on air, Vanessa Pamisaran.